Rush, 3-1. And not a bad one as well as Rush goes through. And this surely is a goal for Liverpool.
Rush to his left, onside, Ian Rush, 1-0 Liverpool, brilliant goal.
Must make the cross now, he does, Ian Rush, and that is a magnificent goal. There's no answer to that.
Before the age of 24-hour news cycles and endless social media debate, footballing greatness was measured in a far simpler currency: goals.
1-0.
You can see it here, the roar of a terrace, the bulge of a net, the sheer force of one man changing a match. Few have ever been richer in that currency than Ian Rush. His story is not one of overnight success, but of relentless effort. A shy boy from the north of Wales who rose to become the deadliest striker in Europe. He was the ghost in the machine, the final, lethal touch of a Liverpool team that conquered everything in its path.
He's got a perfect through ball. And what a brilliant goal. Ian Rush celebrates the goal, but Kenny Dalglish, the creator supreme.
Ian James Rush was born on the 20th of October 1961 in St Asaph, but was one of 10 children raised in the nearby industrial town of Flint. Life in the Rush household was a lesson in survival and competition. His father, Francis, had been a fine player himself, working for decades at the local steelworks. My dad was a good footballer, but he never got the chance to play professional because he had to work at the steelworks to support the family. He pushed me, but he also taught me to stay grounded. That was the biggest lesson I ever had. Rush's talent was raw but obvious. Though naturally right-footed, he was exceptionally strong with his left, making him a nightmare for defenders. After standing out for Flintshire boys, he signed as a trainee at Chester. His league debut came in December 1978, and by the following season he was established in the team, scoring 14 league goals.
I'm Chester. Do you remember those days?
I do remember those days, yeah. Long time ago.
I remember my debut at Chester. I was just a kid, really. To get that first goal gave me the belief that I could play at that level. His performances attracted the attention of the reigning champions, Liverpool. Manager Bob Paisley, a man with an almost mystical ability for spotting talent, saw beyond the goal tally. The deal was done in April of 1980 for a then record fee for a teenager of £300,000. Rush later recalled the shock of that move. When I heard Liverpool wanted me, I couldn't believe it. It was overwhelming, going from Chester to the best team in Europe. But Bob Paisley told me he saw something in me, and that gave me the confidence to try.
One of the very best in the business. That is a great strike.
The Liverpool of the early 1980s was a unique institution. But after a frustrating first season in the reserves, Rush considered leaving. Bob Paisley famously convinced him to stay, telling him he was trying too hard. His breakthrough came in the 1981-82 season. At first, I struggled at Liverpool. I thought maybe I wasn't good enough, but Bob Paisley told me, "Don't try to impress us, just play your game." That changed everything. It was during this period that he forged one of the most iconic partnerships in British football history with Kenny Dalglish.
I think when Kenny, even in training, you know how good he was, and he used to say to me, when I get the ball, you run into that space. And I'm just like, look, no chance and all that. Then next thing, the ball's in that space, so you don't have to tell me again. So I was just one of them to say this. And I think as a striker, the first yard or two is inside your head. If you're on your front foot instead of your back foot. And also, I was pretty quick in them days. So I managed to get in them positions. Kenny would put the ball into the space, and I would just run into the positions. And a lot of times, I end up one-on-one.
Dalglish said, "With Rushy, it was easy. You just knew where he'd be. I'd put the ball there and he'd do the rest. It was almost telepathic." The pinnacle of that era arrived in the 1983-84 season. Rush scored an astonishing 47 goals as Liverpool won a historic treble of the league, League Cup and European Cup. His staggering goal haul earned him the European Golden Shoe, the first time a British player had claimed the award. The season culminated in the European Cup final in Rome. That night in Rome was unbelievable. To win on penalties in their stadium against Roma, it's still the greatest moment of my career. After Bob Paisley's retirement, Joe Fagan took charge for 2 seasons. Following Fagan's retirement in 1985, Kenny Dalglish became player manager, and Rush continued to score vital goals, including 2 in the 1986 FA Cup final. Scoring twice in a Merseyside final at Wembley, that's what dreams are made of. To share that with the fans was something special.
And Dalglish, and Rush is on the far side. Is this three? It is! Ian Rush again, and surely now.
By 1987, Italian football was the ultimate challenge. Juventus offered a British record £3.2 million. Rush was seen as one of the world's best strikers, moving to the most difficult league in the world. It was tough in Italy. The defenders were different, strong, clever and disciplined. I learned a lot, but I didn't enjoy my football as much. By the end of the season, there was a feeling the experiment hadn't worked. The call came from Kenny Dalglish during the summer of 1988. Liverpool paid £2.7 million to bring him back. When Kenny rang me and said, "Do you want to come home?" I didn't have to think twice. His second coming at Anfield was different. He was a more experienced player and the team was evolving. In the 1989 FA Cup final, he came off the bench to score 2 goals in extra time against Everton.
McMahon, Barnes. Rush! Goal! 3-2 Liverpool. Ian Rush gets his second.
That final was unbelievable. To score twice in extra time in another derby, I couldn't have written it better. He won another league title in 1990 and another FA Cup in 1992, again scoring a crucial goal.
Michael Thomas, Ian Rush! It's the perfect Liverpool FA Cup final goal from one of their all-time greats.
By now, a new generation was emerging, led by local teenager Robbie Fowler. Fowler said, "For me, Ian Rush was God. To be mentored by him, to watch how he trained and finished, it shaped my career. After 346 goals in 660 appearances, a club record that is unlikely ever to be broken, Ian Rush played his last game for Liverpool in 1996. Rush remained committed to Wales. He scored 28 goals, a record that stood for over 20 years. Yet his international career was marked by near misses, the most painful coming in 1993 against Romania. That Romania game still hurts. If we'd won, I'd have played in a World Cup. I'd have swapped every medal I ever won to do that for Wales."
I did think about retiring from international football because I was so depressed and everything. I thought we were going to go to the USA. We didn't get there, and for about 3 or 4 weeks after, looking back now, I wasn't playing really well for Liverpool either, because that was in my mind of the disappointment of not qualifying for the World Cup.
His final playing days came in Australia with Olympic Sharks before a short spell managing Chester. Today, he is a global ambassador for Liverpool, sharing stories from his remarkable career. Being an ambassador is perfect for me. I get to represent the club I love, travel the world and meet supporters. It keeps me connected. In recognition of his services, he was awarded an MBE in 1996. His name remains synonymous with Liverpool and with goals. Goals that defined an era. Ian Rush was more than just a goal scorer. He was the embodiment of a glorious team, the humble hero who fired Liverpool to immortality.